So you're a Chicago native?
Yes, born and raised, South Side.
South Side. I love it. And then at the time when we met, you were starting with a new company. You're on the founding team. I mean, company's name is Chegg.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that period and like even where did the inspiration come for the company?
Yeah, so I actually met a team of people that were already working on, we'll call it Chegg 1.0.
Yeah.
And I was definitely hustling at the time to pay off some credit card debt from college and started out with data entry with this team of people. And in getting to know them a bit more, they were building out Chegg 1.0, and I became more and more involved with their marketing, their promotions, and eventually their business ops, and just fell right into the startup scene. Just jumped with 2 feet, heads first, everything, moved out to the Bay Area. I mean, I was just all in. Chegg 1.0 was not the biggest hit. It wasn't the win. So at the time, there was a team.
What was the MVP? I mean, was it like a website where people just ordered books? I mean, this is before you even integrated, social media into a website, right?
Yes. So the Ultra MVP was actually a closed network student classifieds. So it was only for college students. You had to register with your student email address, and then you had access to see classifieds from other students. So we were hoping that we would see a lot of traffic and we could get going with ads and it would all take off. And it just wasn't taking off like we thought it would. So we were running out of money, as you will hear with many startups. And it was just about putting our heads together and figuring out, okay, what's next? What do? We have to pivot. And we took a close look at what was going on with Chegg 1.0, and we're like, okay, where is the traffic? What's happening? Where are people engaging? And it was all around finding textbooks for a cheaper price than the bookstore. So we just doubled down, made an MVP website to offer textbook rentals, and we offered every possible textbook out there. We didn't own one textbook, and we also had no idea where we would get it if this took off. We just went with it. We just went with the flow.
But the demand was there, right?
The demand was there. Yeah. We threw up the website, lightning speed. And I remember when we had our first order come in, like all 10 of us, we're jumping up and down in the office like, oh my gosh, they believe in us. They put their credit card number in. Like, that's the ultimate proof for e-commerce. Like, wow, somebody actually placed an order.
Sure.
So the first couple days, weeks, we had maybe 5 or 6 orders a day. And we thought, like, wow, we're doing it. And then honestly, it just spread like wildfire. Like, students were telling other students and their classes, like,
classic marketing, word of mouth, huh?
Oh, yeah. And, it's like you can get this $150 book for $20 off this website. And it was just all of a sudden orders were coming in left and right. And we really had to brace ourselves for that first season and just deliver.
So when Facebook was starting, they limited kind of like who can use it, right? So they started with, for example, Harvard and then Ivy League, schools, and then grew from there. Did you guys have a similar strategy, or it was?
No, we just threw it out there.
So you're getting orders from everywhere.
From everywhere, and we had no processes in place. Again, no books, no warehouse, none of that existed. The way that we executed was we pulled out our personal credit cards, and we went to various websites. Yep, ordered the textbooks, maxed out our credit cards, and sent people books. All of our credit cards not only were maxed out, we were constantly shut down for fraud because we're sending books everywhere, but none of them were our actual billing address. So it just didn't make sense, right? Yeah. But we got the books to students. They were super happy. We were like, this is great. We did it. We survived. MVP.
Yeah.
Like that first semester, and had a ton of learnings to then bring to the next semester. And
you were all in Chicago at the time, right?
Initially, yeah. So the team was actually split between the Bay Area, Chicago, and New York.
Got it.
When we started having traction, the plan was let's all get to the Bay Area.
Sure.
So.
And what year was that?
Gosh, 2007, 2008.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so now you are away from home. You're in Palo Alto, like San Jose.
Yes, near San Jose. So I was in Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I had just gotten engaged in Chicago, and within that same month, I was asked to move to California. So I had 2 yeses in 1 month. Though I did learn that something like moving across the country is something you should speak to your fiance about before you say yes.
Yeah.
But I went, he stayed here. So it ended up being a 5-year journey in the Bay Area where Chegg was my life.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you did. And so how was the scene over there? Because that was a time when companies were being born, left and right.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned on one of your earlier podcasts, or one of your guests had mentioned, are they going to see my idea on a napkin? And are they going to steal my idea? It was very much that type of culture from my perspective in the Bay Area. I mean, even when we were talking in Starbucks, people were like, shh, don't talk too loud. They're going to hear you. They're going to build that. They're going to steal your idea. So I started paying attention, and there was all these little whisper conversations happening. But yeah, I mean, it was great. The energy at the time was absolutely startup, grind, hustle, all in. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah. No,
chase it.
Absolutely. And you created created your own department, right? Within Chegg, and now people talk about it specifically in the tech world, like customer success and so on.
Yeah.
Did that exist at the time, or?
So I think at the time it was a very traditional concept of customer support. So you have your customer support function. Yeah. My background prior to Chegg was not customer support at all. So my bachelor's was computer science. I had an MBA with focus on marketing. I had no idea I would end up anything to do with working directly with the customers at the time. And I love every single founding team member of Chegg. I think it was necessary to just take the customers myself. And I think that they were also very grateful that I was happy to take the customers on, because you had to listen to each and every customer at that time. You had to give them the ultimate white glove service. So you kept them, and you could learn what worked in their experience, what didn't work, and then take it back to engineering and product and say, how do we actually work this into the experience? Like, how do we set this up so we can repeat this same experience and scale successfully? So it all ended up, my educational background plus being able to work with the customers, it all came together, and it is what now is known more commonly as customer success or voice of the customer, bringing it back into the business, advocating for the customer, being their champion within the business.
Yeah, absolutely.